Hey guys, what's up? It's Sam here, back with another video. What else would I be doing here today? Listen, we got our best look yet at AirPods 3. An additional AirPods Max update has come out. And, I mean, if you're looking to buy a new Mac, we got some good news and some bad news. So you better drop a like down below if you're excited. And of course, hit that subscribe button so that you always stay up to date on the latest Apple news and that you never miss a beat. Because we don't like missing beats here, okay? Cool. I'm gonna get out of this box now. Alright, so there's a million different directions we could go in today's video, but I think the best place to start is with the Mac, because it's a huge year for the Mac. I would argue it's the biggest year for the Mac ever. You can say 1984, you can say when like the cool MacBook started coming out. I really think it's in 2021 because it's going to be the full realization of what Apple Silicon can actually do. And honestly, it's weird to say that like power isn't really part of the conversation. Like I feel like for any other company, we'd be fixating so much on, is it going to be powerful enough? How many cores will it have? Will it be okay? But all that stuff is pretty much leaked. It's going to have like 12 to 16 cores. It's going to have an updated GPU built in. It's going to be crazy powerful, like basically twice as fast as the M1. Really the biggest question for me is somebody who's looking to buy most of these is like, when are they coming out? Like when are the big Apple Silicon Mac updates happening? Because we haven't gotten any so far this year. Well, according to Nike Asia, and I'm not talking checks over stripes, baby, even though I'm more of an Adidas guy myself, I'm talking Nike Asia, everybody's favorite tech news publication. And here is where they start giving us some details about these Apple Silicon Macs in a super small part of this bigger report about how the iPhone 12 mini is just on absolute life support. These are going to be the redesigned 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros with slimmer bezels, iPad Pro-like design language, new I/O, MagSafe charging, like the ones we've been waiting on. They have been delayed, guys. Initially, we thought these were going to come in the middle of summer at WWDC, right around the June timeframe, because Apple initially planned to start mass production in May or June, which would perfectly suggest a June launch for these, likely in the summer, maybe in July or something. But now, Nike says it's been pushed back. We aren't expecting these now until sometime in the second half of this year. So at the earliest, July, but I don't think it's gonna be July. I think it's probably gonna be sometime in the fall. So initially it's like, oh no, like the MacBook Pros. I think these are probably Apple's most popular computers next to the MacBook Air, and they're excited. Like we all want them, but if they're pushing, if you see where I'm going with this, if they're pushing these MacBook Pros back, right, it's almost maybe like they're making room for a different computer to come a bit early. Now listen, I'm having a little bit of fun here and I'm dreaming up a storm, but based on recent rumors from John Prosser, who says the iMac is ready, we've now heard a supply chain report that the Mac that was supposed to come this summer has been pushed back. I don't think that was like necessarily because of issues with the design. The report doesn't mention that. Nobody else has said that like Apple's having a hard time with the features of this MacBook. I really think that this new iMac is actually ready and that we will be getting it as soon as April or May or June. Okay? And that's really exciting. But let me know what you think. Are we going to see some other Apple Silicon Macs first, or is all the focus going to be on the new stuff coming in March, the new iPad Pro, AirTags, and now there's like a general consensus that we're going to be seeing AirPods as well. And at first, I was skeptical, right? I'm like, you really think we're going to get an event with AirPods? I mean, Apple hasn't talked about AirPods on stage in an event in like 4 years, like literally since 2016, they have not announced a new version of AirPods outside of a press release. And then, and then they just started leaking like crazy. And if there is one sign that a new product is just around the corner, it's when a number of different sources are all posting the same thing. And that's exactly what we've seen here with AirPods 3. Now, this isn't the first time that we've seen the design. These fresh images are courtesy of Gizmo China. But what I love about this is, number one, they know how to properly watermark something. Like 52 Audio, and I will talk about this every time because it drives me up the wall. But every time 52 Audio posts something, I love them. You guys are awesome. But like, did we need this much? Like, could we just turn down the watermark knob like 1%? That'd be great. And as seen in these images shared from Gizmo China, guys, when I first saw these, I was losing my mind. Like, this looks incredible. We've seen watermarked images, we've seen some sketchy leaks of like pieces in different parts, but this is the first time we have seen like a marketing looking shot of these AirPods, and I absolutely love it. I know we've been going back and forth, but these are the hybrid design that so many of us have been asking for. We want that stem of AirPods Pro. We want an updated design, but we want a one-size-fits-all as well. For people like me that can't use ear tips, Gizmo China in their article says that they will be included, but based on what we're seeing in these renders and everything else, I fully believe that the ear tips will either A, be an add-on you can get, or B, I think most likely, they'll just be optional. You can put the ear tips on here and they'll fit in your ear if you like in-ear design. But if you don't, if you're like me, you can just put these in your ear and they look like they'll fit. And I have a feeling Apple's done a lot of research that probably says these will fit in more ears than just AirPods 2 with the like earbuds type design. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be making a lot of videos about these. So if you want to see a bunch of AirPod stuff, hit subscribe down below because like I am super into them and I'm ready. All right, enough talking about those AirPods. Let's talk about AirPods Max, which apparently have been having some issues. Oh no, oh, not my AirPods Max. My Apple products have to be perfect. Even though this channel 1 second ago was like an Apple ad of sorts, I don't play that way here on iUpdate. We do some fair coverage of the products. I'm gonna tell you just how much I love them, just as much as when I think they fall short and they're bad and they're garbage. And AirPods Max have not been that. They've been great. They're my new pair of over-ear headphones that I use every time I'm doing podcasts, whenever I want something that sits on my head that's not the small version of AirPods. And it's kind of weird to me that they're still called AirPods because they are just so large. But since they launched in December of last year, there's been an on and off issue with battery. Like sometimes they're fine, and other times the AirPods Max just die randomly and they drain excessively. I've had this happen to me. Some days where I use it 4 days in a row, it's still at like 50%. And then one time I charge it one day, I use it one day, and it's dead the next day, which is some really inconsistent battery performance. So Apple just released the first software update for AirPods Max that they ever have. But of course, they haven't told us what's new. I don't know why this is a phenomenon. I don't know why companies like Facebook, and usually Apple's pretty good, but like they don't provide any information here, just release an update and don't tell you what's new. So it's like Blue's Clues out here trying to see if my battery is maybe better. But lucky for us, this Apple community is so great that we have somebody like Guilherme Rambo, who's one of the greatest developers out right now, and a generally great guy, sharing the actual releases and changes for AirPods Max 3C, 3.9. And as suspected, the first issue has been addressed. Take a look at this before and after. This is before the update. Battery drain over a couple of hours. You can see how your AirPods Max would literally die overnight. Like in 8 hours, if you were at 50-60%, you're going to be at like 0 in no time. And after, the battery is more consistent. I mean, shout out to Guy for figuring this out. This is absolutely amazing. Second up, we also see that there's a fix for a crash after being paired with a new device. This is also kind of weird. Apparently it was pretty common. And it's, I don't know, I just kind of find it ironic that we get better release notes from a part of the community than from Apple themselves. Thanks, G, you're the best. Maybe the reason Apple doesn't tell us what's new is because they don't even tell you how to properly update them. Like to get 3C, 3.9, which is the latest AirPods Max firmware, just take a look at this. It's a multi-step process that involves connecting them and listening to music, and then disconnecting them and putting them back in the case, and then while they're in the case, plugging them in, and then putting your phone by them while they're plugged in, and then just sitting there and hoping and basically just praying in the hopes that this AirPods Max firmware actually gets pushed from Apple server to your AirPods Max. It's just so ironic, right? That Apple has absolutely nailed software updates in every other business that they run, from Apple Watch to iPhone to iPad to Mac and even tvOS. It is as simple as going to settings, general, and software update. And then for AirPods, they're like, you see little Johnny? Yeah, he's really good at soccer, isn't he? Yeah, I'm sorry, he's gonna have to be sacrificed for this to work. Yeah, it's just company policy. Let me know if you guys have had any luck updating your AirPods, and maybe with AirPods 3, like we see some better system, because I believe they're right around the corner. I mean, guys, Apple's March event is 12 days away, I think at the time of recording, 10 days when you're seeing this roughly. Like we are so close to the first Apple event of 2021, and I'm here to keep you updated until the very last second because I love doing this stuff. All right, love you guys. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Hit subscribe so you always stay in the loop. I've been Sam, and I will catch you cool cats. I will catch you cool cats in my next video.